Is everything I ate on my honeymoon in France, day one. Today, we drank wine in a cave, had dinner overlooking a vineyard, and slept in a castle. So you could say it was a pretty good start to our honeymoon. Our first stop was for Landry's castle, and honestly, the gardens here were some of the most spectacular I've ever seen. It was kind of giving me Alice in Wonderland vibes. After our castle exploration, James wanted to get some ice cream, and classic, I said I didn't want any, and then I proceeded to steal some of his. I thought honey ice cream was a little bit of a bland choice, but honestly, the flavor of the honey was so strong in this, it was actually really good. Our next stop was the town of Chinon, where we were coming to do a wine tasting in a cave under a castle. I now want to do all wine tastings in caves because this was so freaking cool. The wine was really unique in flavor and honestly was really, really good. We then headed for dinner at a place called Or Local, which naturally was overlooking both a castle and a vineyard. This restaurant is all about local produce, so on the menu it literally shows you where each ingredient is sourced from. I love that almost every meal in France starts with some little amuse-bouches. Sadly, this first little savory cake was kind of bland and flavorless, but the cured ham was salty, savory, and delicious. And this little vegetable madeleine was actually rather delightful. For a starter, I got the catfish with eggplant. This was my first time trying catfish, and while I could tell it had been well cooked, I just found it quite bland and flavorless. However, I loved the sorrel sorbet. It was super herbaceous and very refreshing. James got the beef, which came with shiitake mushrooms and sunflower seeds. That beef was so tender and cooked to rare perfection. I think James won out with choosing the best starter. On to mains, I ordered the duck and spelt. The duck in France is just so good, so I order it at every opportunity I get. This dish was no exception. The jus was so flavorful, and that creamy spelt risotto just worked really nicely with the duck. James went for the fish, which came with zucchini and melon. I can't remember what type of fish this was, but it definitely had a lot more flavor than the catfish. Also, I don't think I've ever had fish with melon before. It was quite a complimentary combination. The standout dish of the night was definitely this sheep cheese foam with rhubarb. That rich, creamy foam with tangy rhubarb was just the perfect combination. James got the goat's cheese with black sesame. While the goat's cheese was lovely, I wasn't a big fan of the black sesame crisp. I ordered a dessert with the description of tonka, hazelnut, and peanuts. I really wasn't expecting to be served a giant cookie, but here we are. I thought the tonka bean ice cream was really nice, but that peanut cookie just kind of dominated the whole dish. James got the pistachio and lavender cake topped with apricots. This also wasn't my favorite dessert. It kind of had that fake pistachio taste, and the lavender was quite potent. But James seemed to enjoy it, so maybe it just wasn't for me. After dinner, we drove to our accommodation for the night, which was inside a freaking castle. This room makes me feel like I've time traveled back to the medieval ages. To finish the night, I had a bath in this freaking massive tub, and then it was time for some beauty sleep in my princess bed. Follow along for honeymoon day 2, as both the castles and the food got even better.